Carpe diem from an ideological critical point of view. In the two preceding videos, I have dealt with new criticism and structuralism. Those two methods focus on the text. Irrelevant is archaeology, history, social conditions, etc. Key words are close reading, pairs of opposition, and structure. Ideological criticism, however, focus on the text and context. Ideological criticism compares the ideology of the text with the realities of society. A true ideology uncovers the injustice of society and calls for change. A false ideology blurs realities. Let's begin in the text. Dum loquimur, as we speak, presupposes that the text is part of a conversation. We hear only one part of the conversation, however, namely that of the man. We may assume that the I of the text is a man, unless there's something in the text which explicitly points in another direction. What is the subject of the conversation? Or in other words, if Ode 111 is an answer, what was the question? The conversation is about the spes longa, the long hope, that is, the woman's hope for the future. And this is where we have to introduce social realities in our interpretation. What hope for the future can a young woman in Roman society in the 1st century BC realistically entertain? Education? Career? To become an independent real estate agent? No. Marriage is the only achievable goal in life that a young woman can hope for in that society. And that fits the opening lines perfectly. It's about the fate and future of the I and the you of the text, not anybody else's fate. The simple and pertinent question of Leoconomy was, do the two of us have a future together? Or something like that. Now, instead of taking a stand, the I of the text refers responsibility to external authorities, gods, society, nefas, Jupiter, and convenient philosophical one-liners. Please note that the I of the text is not an Epicurean. An Epicurean would not regard Jupiter as the one who determines the span of life. The content of verse 1 to 3 could be rendered thus. If we are getting married, well, it's not for me to decide the future, is it? Besides, you shouldn't ask. Actually, it's forbidden to know what the gods have decided for you and me. Why don't we just see what happens and accept that? The text presupposes that the relation between man and woman is equal. This is elegantly illustrated by form, quam mihi, quam tibi, and by content. The philosophical outlook is universal, implying that all men and women are equal. But man and woman are not equal in ancient society. Ode 111 is about the intimate relation between a man and a woman. The man, presumably, risks little in that connection. For the woman, this intimacy may lead to reprisals from her family, public denouncement, pregnancy, having a child clandestinely, or attempts at termination. The ideology of the text is false. The text conceals the inequality between man and woman. And, from the point of hermeneutics of suspicion, we must ask critically to the project of the man. A man encourages an unmarried, presumably young woman, to let down her hair, to have wine and enjoy herself. Does he truly want to fill her with Epicurean wisdom? Or does he want to have sex with her? We will leave that question to deconstruction and to the next and final video in this series.